Hi, everybody. DJ Yoakley with you for another player profile. Easy for me to say. Player profile here on YSN, brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric. It is a South Range version of the player profile, and we are joined by one of my favorite young dudes in the school, Logan Cormell, who, if you don't know LC or Shorty or whatever you want to call him, whatever you call him, you're going to have to call him an Otterbein graduate in the next 4 years, because my guy makes a huge announcement this week to go and wrestle at the collegiate level for Otterbein. Logan, first and foremost, congratulations on the announcement and a phenomenal 4 years as a South Range Raider.
Thank you.
So let's get right down to it. Everybody's recruiting story is a little bit different. What was your recruiting story like? Because I know you and I have never talked about this, but you probably have the ability, unlike most, to play anything you wanted at the next level. You're a good baseball player, a good wrestler, and a good football player. What was it about Otterbein and selecting wrestling that really interested you about going and playing at the next level?
I mean, if I have to, out of all the sports that I play, honestly, wrestling is probably my favorite. And the reason why I chose Otterbein was just because it just felt like home. And like I said before, I have family that live down there, and it was a really small school, and I like that aspect. And it just, like I said, it felt like home.
I think one of the coolest things is you didn't have to necessarily. Otterbein had to kind of choose you as well, because and they had to kind of woo you off your feet, because you had several different colleges that were trying to kind of hook themselves into you. What was that process like of eliminating places that weren't the right fit for you at this time?
The elimination was like when you step on campus, you always want to make it feel like home. And just like you got to see like if there's any other things to do in that area and stuff like that, just to hang out with your friends. And honestly, I've been getting like these offers or colleges looking at me all year, and I mean, I just wrote it out as long as I could to see if I could get anything. And I mean, just Otterbein kind of wowed me, you know what I mean? And like I said, it just felt like home, and like I felt comfortable stepping on campus.
Conversations with the coaches, obviously that's a big part of the recruitment process, is, and like you're saying, feel like home. You have a great set of coaches in every sport that you participate in. From a standpoint of being at South Range, what were the conversations like, in talking about what it's like to wrestle at the next level in college, and what did Otterbein say, or what kind of conversations did transpire, I guess, to kind of make you feel like, hey, this is a place that I can call home for the next 4 to 5 years?
When I first went there on my first visit, uh, he reminded me of my Coach Dave Markulin, and like how much he does like scouting and stuff like that. Because just for the simple fact, when I was there, he was like, "You'd be a perfect wrestler here because we teach everything that you do. I've been watching your film. I've been picking out what you do, and I just like how you wrestle because you wrestle like a college wrestler would wrestle here." And I mean, I just took that to consideration, that he like wants me to go there because he's doing all the extra steps, you know what I mean, to get there. And we just when we talked for the first time, we kind of just clicked right away. And I mean, it was just an amazing experience when I visited the college campus.
All right, man. We haven't really talked on the record since you won your state championship. Talk to me about what it was like for you to kind of. It had to be a whirlwind. That whole kind of week and month leading up to the state championship. You guys winning it, sealing the deal, and being able to once again, for the first time in 4 years or so and change, South Range becomes a state championship, and you are a huge part of raising that trophy.
It was filled with a lot of emotion, and like, if I'm gonna be honest, like I kind of like that whole week of state duels and stuff like that. I kind of like tried to block out all the like, not block it out, but just stay focused on the state championship. And another good sign about Otterbein is he understood that, and he like kind of like respected that about it, and he told me like to focus up and go win a state title.
And you did. You did just that. You are now forever going to be known as Logan Cormell, South Range state champion in wrestling. All right. So, with that said, obviously, given your gear that you're geared up right after a baseball game is when this is being taped, you guys have a job to do as from South Range baseball standpoint, and that's go and chase a championship. A lot of people think that this might be the most talented team since that 2018 team. Is there things or are there things that you can take from the state championship in wrestling and build on to make a run here in the postseason for baseball?
Well, like in wrestling, it was like family. That's what we preach, like family and staying together. And that's basically what you can build off of. So like if somebody strikes out or they hit a pop fly and they're the last out, you go out there and you pick them up and you give them all the confidence in the world that they need to not feel down about what they just did and just take each inning by that inning and try to win every inning.
I think one of the coolest things about you, Logan, is the fact that you are so selfless. You could care less about what happens or who ends up winning the game or winning the match as long as your team wins the match or the game. I love that you were always the first guy out there to congratulate your teammates in wrestling. You're always a team guy in baseball. Where did you learn that? Is that a process? Is that something that you picked up from your family, from friends, just from over time? Where did that come from, and why is that so important to you?
I mean, I kind of picked that up through my family because I just remember my mom and dad telling me just treat everybody how you want to be treated. So like if you're down or something and like you want somebody to like pick you up and like make you feel like you're doing everything right. I mean, I'll treat somebody like that and they, you know what I mean? They'll treat me like that in return.
All right, cool story for you. I haven't told you this. I was waiting for the right time, and no time is better than now. So after the football banquet, your dad and I were chatting it up, and he said, as fun as this football season was, wait till wrestling. He said, it's my favorite time of year. I love wrestling because it's just different. There's a different intensity. There's a different commitment than football and baseball. Fast forward about 4 months, you're a state champion in wrestling. That was the most exciting wrestling season I've ever taken part in. What was it like to share that experience with mom and dad?
It's priceless. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we've worked, like me and my parents, or me, I've been working my whole life for this, and like to be surrounded by that group of guys, and like I just want to thank my parents for always pushing me and like giving me that confidence to keep wrestling every year, and just giving me confidence and making me believe in myself and just pushing me to be a better person every day.
If you had to take one characteristic that you have now that your parents passed along to you, what would it be, and what's that favorite characteristic and why?
I would just have to say just like being kind of like sort of a confident, because and being confident, like being part of something, teamwork, like that kind of stuff, just so like when you surround yourself with those kind of guys, you have the confidence, you have the teamwork, and it just builds up from there.
I think one of the things I really enjoy about you most is the fact that you have so much school spirit. Now, we know your girlfriend plays for the softball team, but you can be found at almost every South Range activity. What is it about South Range you love so much? It makes you want to get out there and root for seemingly everybody in burgundy and gold.
Mostly it's just the atmosphere, you know what I mean? Just like the parents are so supportive of every sport, and they have a good time, and I have a good time watching all the sports.
All right, I have to ask the question because I don't see it. Did you cut the mullet? Did you shave it up or what?
Yeah, I did.
Look at you. You look like a normal teenager now. What made you grow it? And then on top of that, what made you cut it? Was it all right? Was it the girlfriend? Was it the parents? Was it peer pressure? What was it?
None of those. So my Julie actually liked it, and she told me she doesn't care what I have my hair like and stuff like that. And my parents, they told me they didn't care, but I kind of made the decision to cut it before prom, so I look more like, you know what I mean?
So you look, I don't want to say that because a mullet is still respectable, but
Yeah.
what people don't realize in 20 years, you're going to have to look back on these pictures like I do right now and realize, oh my gosh, what was I doing? Who talked me into this? So well played, LC. Well played, taking it in your own hands and cutting it up. Lose the cap. Let's see it. Show it off. Show off the mane.
It's a little shorter
Oh,
than
look at
usual,
that.
but I would have liked it a little bit longer, but it is what it is.
I like it, man. It's a good look for you, brother. It's a
Thank
good
you.
look for you. All right. So talking about these last couple months at South Range, what are some of the things you want to check off on the bucket list before you leave? To me, one of the best schools in the area.
A few things I'll just like to check off is another state championship in baseball. We can make a run this year. And honestly, just spending time with my friends and making all the memories count, and just making everything count and making memories.
All right. So a couple last questions before I let you go. I've had you for about 11 minutes now, 12 minutes or so. I know that it's like pulling teeth for you. You hate doing these things, but you do them because you love me, and I appreciate you. If you had to leave a legacy at South Range, just for you, so when people think of Logan Cormell, they think of what?
I would probably say wrestling. That's what I would, and just having those good teammates on the wrestling team.
I love that. All right, man. Last question for you. It's fun time. This is the question. This is my newest question. It is the I think one of the better ones, and it's a stumper because nobody's really come up with a good one yet. So the pressure's on for you to come up with a good one. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. They're writing a story in Hollywood about Logan Cormell, and you get to pick who plays you in the starring role. Who is it and why?
I would have to say I would say Ryan Reynolds, because of all the movies and stuff like that I've seen and watched. He's just like a comedian, and I kind of view myself as a comedian because if somebody's having a bad day or something like that, and like they don't have a smile on their face, I'll try to put a smile on their face. Even if it makes me look stupid, I'll try to make that person smile.
All right. And a 1A question here. If Julie had to pick someone to play you, who would it be and why?
Oh, geez. I don't know.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, there you go. Channing Tatum.
That's the guy. It's Ryan Reynolds or Channing Tatum. Not two bad dudes to have play you in a starring role, man. Logan, thank you so much for the time. It's been such an honor and a pleasure to cover you. We're so proud of you for taking your commitment to the next level. Can't wait to watch all the great things that you're going to do, whether it's on the mat or off the mat. We know it's going to be. By the way, what are you going to study?
Sports management.
My guy. My guy. So you'll be in sports no matter what. We're proud of you, man. If there's anything ever that we can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. On behalf of all of us at YSN, thank you, Logan, and good luck in the future.
All right. Thank you, DJ.